There's a part in the new special, and thank you, China, where you talk about when you were pre-med at NYU.
Yes, sir.
And you made
naturally
you made something that I was hoping you were going to go more on, and you didn't. But you failed the chem lab because you made something that was cocaine adjacent.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's a
Talk
true
to me
story.
about that. Talk to me about how one makes that.
That's a true story. I wish I could remember the formula, but it was.
Fucking Walter White over
Yeah,
here.
fucking done with TikTok.
I just mixed some. Yeah, TikTok taught me how to make cocaine. I mixed something in this underneath the hood. You guys have taken a lab before where there's like a hood that.
I don't know that I have.
Oh, okay.
I didn't make it too far in school.
There's a hood that like sucks all the bad gases out.
Yeah,
and, like,
I definitely haven't done that.
And there was some reaction.
That's some,
no,
they don't do that at
NYU.
regular. Yeah, we don't do that at regular school, man.
I took high school chemistry.
We looked at rocks. We
just
legit looked at
whatever.
rocks.
Yeah.
That was it.
I had I missed a step somewhere, and there was some reaction that was supposed to be happening, and it wasn't happening. So I just added a little extra stuff, and I was, is it happening? I inhaled it, and like immediately my heart was like, and I went home after I had to leave the
Grinding
lab.
your teeth.
Yeah. I started talking real fast for no reason. I went home and I Googled like what reactions happened because of this. And then I was like, this is like a narcotic adjacent thing. I was like, oh, I just made accidental cocaine. And it was like, all right, I failed that lab. And I got C+, and then that was it. Pre-med was gone.
Were you doing comedy at the same time?
No, I started in 2009. I graduated in 2008 with a finance degree. Obviously, the funniest thing you could do in 2008. And then I didn't recruit to like an investment bank. All my friends were like recruiting to like, big banks, a small bank, middle. I had 2 super days. I'm not sure if you said you're
Yeah, but I don't know what a super day is.
Super day is when you do like 5 interviews at the same place. So you go through like the analyst, associate, the managing director,
They
the
just
VP.
grill you.
Yeah. So I did 2 of those, and I didn't recruit to either one of those places. And then after that, when I graduated, I had no job, and I was like, "What the fuck am I gonna do?" All my friends are like,
Where did you do undergrad?
NYU Stern pre-med finance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all my elective classes were pre-med classes, and my major was finance. And so when I dropped pre-med, I was like, oh, I'll just do finance. And then turns out like finance is not as easy as it made it seem like it, because all my friends were like super smart. I'm like, oh, I can also do that.
Yeah.
No, they were like a lot smarter than I was.
Right.
And so I graduated 2008 with no job, nothing. And I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? I was underemployed at Bloomberg, making like $20 an hour, which is decent money, but not for someone
what you were
who's
supposed
spent.
to do.
Yeah, relative to what I should have been making. And then I was like, fuck am I gonna do in my life? I took like this goofy writing class, like a very sappy writing class at NYU. I was like, this is sad. Why am I doing this? And then
I think I took that class too.
Yeah. No, for real.
I was taking
like after graduating.
I never graduated, but I was taking a writing class at NYU when I started working here. And once I got a job here, like an internship here, I just stopped going to that class.
Like writing personal essays. That's what the class was. I was like, this is fucking funny as shit. And then I forget. I wish I could remember the exact moment. I was like, I want to go get on stage, but
So you started
2009,
23, something like that?
Yeah, I guess I was 23 years old.
Which is not like old, but a lot of times you hear about comics who are like, I was 12 years old getting up at the comics, like at the school fair or whatever the fuck it is,
I mean, Chappelle and a few other people started super early, like in their teens and stuff. And no, I didn't even know that stand-up comedy was something I could pursue necessarily until like 2009. I mean, I saw Russell Peters, his first special come out in, I think, 2004, like it leaked on YouTube. And I remember like that was the first special that I could share with my parents, and that me and to this day, one of my close friends, we were floor mates at that time. The only other Indian person on the floor was my friend, and he was like, yo, come here. He was like, you seen this? And I was like, no, I haven't seen it. We pulled it up, and at that point, it had less than like 1 million views on YouTube, which was huge though at the time in 2004. And we watched it, so like, yo, that's fucking hilarious. And we died of laughter. Flash forward 5 years later, like in the back of my head, it's like, oh, Russell Peters did it. Maybe I could get on stage too. And
that's an interesting mindset, because I feel like there are people. I feel like I watch something awesome and I'm like, that's cool. Wow, I imagine being able to do that. Yeah. Versus like, I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people have that mindset, but like, I think most people see something awesome and they're just like, I could never.
Yeah.
And those people who can are so dope.
I had that. I probably had that same mentality in 2004 when I saw that. Like, oh, that's fucking. I'll never do that. Come 2009, I'm like, why wouldn't I be able to do that? How do I do it? And then I just Googled the first open mic I found in New Jersey. It was Stress Factory in New Brunswick, Vinnie Brand's club. And it was a bringer mic. And luckily I had, 16 first cousins all with them, all of them very close.
Pack the joint out.
I was a ringer for. I mean, I had my people there.
Yeah.
And I stacked the deck, and I did
that. To me, though, I know it's about bringing people through the door to get stage time and shit. But I feel like my first times, I would not want my people there. I would want strangers to
had
bomb and
unnecessary confidence. And unearned confidence at the time.
I'm sure my friends would be supportive because they're friends, but I would not. I feel like bombing in front of my friends is like the worst thing I would ever want. To this day, I don't want them to come to my shows. I don't like friends and family at my shows. I'm just like, please no.
I had plenty. I did so many bringers, and like I had such a deep bench of friends that would come out to like Gotham and all those places that require bringers, and slowly over time that number, all right, we get it, man, we don't want to spend $45 to see you anymore. But very early on, like all my NYU friends I stayed friends with and friends with to this day, like they came out and supported. I remember the same Indian friend that we watched the Russell Peters special together, I remember him like getting kicked out of an open mic because we were like, he was drunk and like heckling. So much, it was so much fun. I just look back very fondly at those days.
I feel like stand up in the Indian community and world is huge, right? Like it's
gotten bigger.
Big names are coming out, and I feel like it's I don't know if it's like, is it newer over there, or has it been always a thing, or I just feel like I'm hearing more Indian comics and I'm seeing more like Indian like fans, and like it's just growing. And
I think we're at least in Indian American comedy, like there's been a bit older, obviously, there's Aziz, Russell, Hassan, Mindy, etc. But in the Indian landscape, it's pretty new. The art form itself, there's Veer Das and there's a billion other comedians who are now coming up, and like, but it's kind of crazy to see how quickly it's accelerated. Yeah, like it's gone, and there's a billion people, so it's like it's a little easier to sell shows. Pack shows out, but
it's a little bit of a cheat code. I mean, you still got to get the job done, but when you do it well, you instead of selling 100, you're selling 1,000. Instead of 1,000, you're selling 5,000. Instead of
Indians are a very artistic people, and they love creativity. They love doing whatever. Bollywood is as big as it is because Indians love expression and art, and this is just another art form that they could take advantage of and have a lot of fun with. And they love the language, and Hindi itself is a beautiful language. So like, there's tons of wordplay that could be done there, and then masters of English like Veer Das and Aditi Mittal and a bunch of other comics who are out there are just like fucking crushing the game. I don't know much about the Indian stand-up landscape outside of my friends and like what's happened over there with censorship. You think
I was gonna say that's the
you think that shit is bad here?
Forget about
it's
it.
Fucking nuts over there, bro.
Shit,
you go to jail for like Veer Das has like been harassed and like facing jail time and all that kind of shit because of the stuff he said.